Okay, for this next section, we'll cover a simple yet very useful topic, just exactly how you can use copy and paste within RoboDK. So, first of all, let's create a new station. So Control N to create a new station, or file new station. First of all, we're gonna do something like people will generally do, and like a common mistake. They'll just open a station like that they already have. Let's say try to copy the robot, Control C like that, and then try to Control V the robot. And here you say you're gonna see it's written cannot paste data. The reason why is that if you want to copy something, you need to first activate the station you want to copy some stuff from, and then you need to activate the station you need to paste stuff on. What I mean by that is that now I have two stations. So I have an empty station right now, and I have my, in fact, called new station 2, and I have the station I had before, so new station 1. If I double click on this one, it will activate that station. Now I can come in, Control C the robot, double click the new station here, and then Control V the robot. So that would work. So I need to activate one and then activate the other. Now, let's say that I want to copy the robot, the part, and the robot, the part, the targets, and everything. So I Control C and then open the new station, Control V. You will see something a bit weird. It's like you have twice the part, twice the target, you have twice the tool, and so on. And here, yeah, you have the reference frame part, then all the targets once again. So that's really where you have indeed, in fact, two robots. So this robot here, this robot here. So that seems at first look quite weird. The reason for that is that when you select something, it will also copy everything that is a child of it. So if you select everything, it will copy that and all its child. It will copy that and all its child, that and all its child, everything that is selected. So you'll create a lot of duplicates of the same object. So if you want to copy that, all of that here, you can just select the, let's say, top reference frame, Control C, go there, Control V, and you have your project transported from one reference frame from one station to the other the way it should. Now you will see that automatically you have a lot of exclamation marks here. That means in theory that those positions aren't reachable, but if you remember well, they were reachable a few seconds ago in the other station. So why would that change? The exclamation mark doesn't necessarily mean that it's out of reach. It generally means that there's an issue with that target. Issue can be that it's out of reach, and the issue can also be that it's not attached to any robot. So when you copy and paste stuff from one station to the other, there are some links that are getting lost. So if you select a target or all target, you can right click and you see there's robot linked here. So which means to which robot this target refers to. And this link is always lost if you copy stuff from one station to another. If you copy stuff in the same station, it will be kept, but not from one station to the other. So you just need to go here and select the right robot, activate the right reference frame here, and this target is now okay. So I can select all of those, robot linked, and then KUKA KR10 are 100, 100, yeah. Anyway, and now everything is fine, and all those targets are reachable. Now for the program, so if I select those two program, Control C, and then Control V, they will be copied here. So that's fine again. Again, you need to link to the right robot. So just right click and then robot linked. At the moment you can't do it on multiple program at the same time, but it will be added in the near future, so I requested that. After that, again, another link that is lost if you're doing some copy and paste is the link to the actual targets. So the name are still there, but if you were to right click and then target linked, you'll see that there's nothing, let's say, selected here. So you just need to go and select the right target for all the moves. But that's still way fast. So if you had a template, so here, by the way, move C, so you have 2 targets to give. Right, 7. Yeah, so that takes a bit of time to redo the link, but it's still way faster than redoing the whole program from scratch. So if you have the chance to use some templates, I would highly recommend doing so. That's a very good way to save some time. You need to do the same, by the way, with the tool. So this one here, is it linked to something? Yeah. And you need to do the same with the set part here. So once all the links are reset properly, you have that here. So that's the first way of doing some copy and paste within RoboDK. There's another option here. So if you double click the robot, you might have see here and other and elsewhere. In fact, it's because we're using that at many places. Copy and paste buttons here. So like copy, paste, copy, paste. This will let you bring information from one, let's say, one of those set of text boxes to the other. So if, for example, I'm going to do something a bit silly here, but you'll understand why I'm doing so. So if I create a new target here in the part 8, I'm going to call this target test. Copy paste. Let's say, okay, so now I created a target right where we are at here. So if I go there, F3, just to open up the robot panel, the target panel, I'm gonna bring it here. So you see this position here is -1, 391, 174, blah blah blah. So that's perfect. But let's say that if I want to use this position instead, so obviously the real thing I would do is right click and then teach current position, but my goal here is to show you how the copy paste works. So if you instead come here, you can copy that here, press this button here to copy, and then you can paste it here, and now the new target is here. So when you're doing right click, teach current position, that's pretty much what it does. It's like copy this position here and applies it to the target position. Also works for the joints. So if I move here, there's a copy joints value here that I can paste here, and that will change the value. But by the way, that won't change the position of the target. It will simply change the active joint position. So if I place like that, anyway, and I need to go there and then teach current position. So if I need to go there, teach current position, if I want to change the Cartesian position, but I can change just the joint position this way. You can copy either joints or targets. If I open a block, now the reason why we do that and we can't just copy everything is that if I was to copy that here and paste it here, what you actually have behind the scene here is not just XYZ rotation, it's a 4x4 matrix which represent X, Y, Z, and then the 3x3 matrix that you have kind of here represents the rotation. So that's a normal transformation matrix. If you're familiar with the maths behind the scene in the field of robotics, you should know about those. So the first 3x3 is rotation, the last here is translation, those three here, and the last row here is kind of useless. The only real goal of that line here is to make it a 4x4 matrix instead of a 3x4, which wouldn't be very useful in terms of calculation afterwards, but having a 4x4 gives you more opportunities. It's not a subject that I studied in English, so sometimes I have a bit of a difficulty really finding the words in regards to matrix style mathematics. I've obviously learned all of that in French, which is my first language. So this is for the copy paste. I do not think that we have anything else. Oh yeah, I'm going to show you something real quick while we're at it, so I can delete this one here. I told you before that we could change the home position to something else. So one of the way of doing that also uses, you don't need to use the copy paste option here, but that's a good way of doing so. So if I move the robot, let's say here, and I decide that this would be my home position. So when I right click home, move home, or just click here, I would prefer having this as my home position, let's say. You can click copy here, so you're copying the joint values. You're gonna go to parameters, and then you have set home position, and then you have all the joint values one after the other here, and you can press here on paste joint values, and that will bring in here the new joint value. If you click OK, and then if I move the robot somewhere else, right click, move home, it will bring the robot to that specific position that I just recorded. That's a good way of changing the home position. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything for this video. It's a small trick, but it's super useful in many cases if you want to save some time.